Yeah. Hello and
Live.
welcome to the episode 8 of our Indian Football Casuals podcast. We are back. We are back as usual after a horrific Asian Cup campaign and lots of interesting ISL matches. It's time for the national team again, and this time we don't have Australia, Uzbekistan, Syria. This time we have a relatively easy opponent, which is not ever easy for the national team. But yeah, since it's comparatively easier, we have Afghanistan, and this time it's the time to chase the dream for a round three finish at the FIFA World Cup. So we played them twice on 21st and 22nd. One is away, the other one is at home in Guwahati. So we are gonna go through both the matches. We are gonna analyze the squad, and we have a special guest today. We have Rehan Vadra, very interesting guest we have today because he's a Spurs fan. We don't usually have Spurs fan in India, so it's an interesting fan we have on the panel, and he also is into Delhi football. So we hope to analyze. We hope to ask some questions around that as well. We have Konak as well. He's also from Delhi. He's also a Delhi FC fan. So we have two Delhites in the panel. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, the floor is open. We are going to analyze everything what we can do, and Ruthvik is going to take us through the entire format here.
Right. So the stage is set. We play the first game on 21st night and 22nd April during Indian Standard Time and 21st as per Saudi National Time. So we'll start off with the squad analysis. The squad which Mr. Igor Stimac has chosen. Uh, in the goalkeeping department, if you see, there has not been many changes. Maybe they could have gone for another keeper or so, maybe. But okay, football was injured during the ISL game, so probably Steamer decided to carry on with the same goalkeeping lineup. So that's the goalkeeping department. Now comes the defense part. The defense part, when you see, when you compare to the AFC Asian Cup, where we had lots and lots of centre backs in our squad for the Asian Cup. Now, strangely enough, we have six fullbacks uh, in the lineup, and two of them are the first time call ups. Amay Ranawade from Odisha FC, who's been doing very well under Sergio Lopera. Uh, he has been one of the relegation and one of the attacking threats for Odisha FC. He has notched up five assists for Odisha FC in the ISL this season. Then we have Jai Gupta, who's also a uh, new debut call up, who's had two assists and two very good goals, long range goals to his name. He comes from he's an FC Goa player. He used to play in Spain in the lower divisions, and then Goa took the punt on him, and then under Manolo Marquez, he found a whole new rhythm in the ISL, and he's one of the top performance of this season for FC Goa. So this is what our defense looks like. I'll ask Sayak. Maybe if you look at the lineup, you might as well debate that he could have gotten one extra player with Laldin Kuya because Steamach has named 25 players in his lineup. He could have gone with Laldin Kuya, who's having a stellar season with Jamshedpur FC. He could have added him as well. That is my initial thoughts on the defense. Sayak, Rehan, Konark, I'll ask you one by one. You can have your say on the squad, on the defense we've had this season, the chosen we've had for these two games. Rehan, you may.
So I think off the bat, I think lots and lots of fullbacks for two games. I don't even know how many we'll be able to try, but I'm really excited to see both. Like you said, both Ranawade and Jay Gupta. I think the fullbacks are somewhere. I think we've got a lot of strength, and decently young players with Akash Mishra as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys. But maybe another centre back or two would have. It could have been a good opportunity without Sandesh Jhingan to maybe try a few more centre backs. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the makeup of the defense is for the two games. And yeah, especially to see Anwar Ali back is exciting. It's been a bit of a long layoff, at least from the national team, for him. So it'll be exciting to see him back.
I think, yeah, lack of Jingan, yeah, that would be a problem. But I think at this, like, these are the times when we can try players like Sana. I don't know why Sana is not getting a chance for the national team. Like, I know he has some personal issues going on, but I think if he gets a call up, I think he can start for the team itself. But yeah, I think against Afghanistan, I think we are gonna take the initiative. Like, but again, there's a whole lack of centre backs, and as Rudvik said, I think Puitia would have added a lot more impetus, especially because Lalchu Nunga has been included in the squad, but I think he's ruled out of the game itself because I in the afternoon I read that he's injured, and I think he won't be able to
He's not part
play
of the
against.
squad. He's not part of the
Yeah,
squad.
yeah, okay, great. So yeah, so yeah, exactly. So, so,
Not
so they,
also I also one correction. Putia, not Putia. It's Laldin Puya
yeah, right.
from
So
Jamshedpur. Yes.
yeah, so like we don't have any centre backs idea. So I think Rahul Bheke will be used as a centre back. I don't really trust him. Like in the ISL, it's kind of different, but in the national team, he's gonna struggle, and he lacks the physicality. Will Afghan players, they will use their physicality even though they are not full strength. But they're a Central Asian side, uh, kind of South Asian, but yeah, we can consider them as Central Asian. So I think they will use a lot of physicality. So I think lack of centre backs will be a problem, especially in aerial balls because Westwood is a British manager, and we have seen enough of Westwood in Indian football at BFC at ADK. So we know what we are expecting here. Like he's gonna use a lot of long balls. He's gonna use a lot of wing play, I think, and so I think that might cause some problems in the aerial department. So centre backs is a issue, but I think with the amount of injuries we have, I don't think Stimac could have done any more better here, as which corrected me. Only Sana Singh is the uh, obvious, uh, obvious miss in the squad I can observe, but he has his issues, so I think that's not that's a moot point here. But yeah, if we manage to play on the ground, if we don't allow Afghanistan to use their physicality too much advantage, I think much of their threat will be neutralized because our fullbacks are fantastic. We are going to attack the ball. We are going to go ahead and deliver as much crosses as possible. That would be an issue. But yeah, in the final third, when Afghanistan are trying to get a goal back, if we are leading, that can be a tricky situation.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I also agree with them. We lack center backs, and Subhashish Bose and Anwar Ali will have to do a hell lot of work. Like those two are gonna be there, like doing a lot of job, and not many people backing them up, like as center backs, because who are you gonna put in like in place of them with similar quality and all those things? That's gonna be a real challenge. And in terms of fullbacks, I am excited to see Ame and Jay Gupta get chance, because in national team I have seen that like most of the times players are constant, not many chances are given. But Igor has taken some calls this time and like included some new faces, so that's something I'm really excited to see.
I think also I want to add that uh, we have Mehtab Singh in the squad, right?
Yes,
So
Mehta.
I
Yeah.
think that's
Yes.
one center back we can use to like proper usage. If he can be used, he has been in fantastic form in the ISL. So I think I'm hoping that he stabilizes himself because especially because he is from the East Bengal under 18 team, which performed really well I think 4 5 years ago. So I kind of have an affinity with him. So I hope he kind of establishes himself. So yeah, I think that's right. that's one CB option right there in front of us with the other ones.
I mean, we've talked about the squad, we've talked about this. We look at, I mean, the players who have performed well in the ISL but unfortunately are left out. Laldin Puya is one, Sana is another, Nanda Kumar is third one, and Putia, the obvious midfielder. I feel we could have either dropped Suresh Singh Wangcham or Anirudh Thakur because uh, when you see Suresh Singh Wangcham, he's not elevated his performance. He was good when he started. He was looking as a brightest star in the midfield, but he is not elevated his performance from the day he started. Yes, he's got the goal against Jamshedpur this season, all that is okay, but when you look his performance is not, and the type of football we will be playing against Afghanistan, where we won't be chasing the ball, we will be controlling the midfield. So I don't know whether Suresh Singh Wangjam and Anirudh Thapa could make it to the team because of their first lack of physicality, and the second point being they are not in good form. Even Anirudh Thapa is hardly playing. I don't remember him starting in the last 2 to 3 games for Mohan Bagan. Suresh has had issues with his temperament. He's every 3 or 4 games he's getting a red card. So maybe Estima should have been bold enough, would have been bold enough to get Tukia, and maybe could have tried him as a box to box midfielder, because when you look at the midfield lineup as well, there is lack of box to box midfielder. You may agree that you put Deepak Tangri or Jigsan Singh as a number 6. You may put Sahal in number 10, Sahal or Brendan in number 10. But number 8 position, we don't have anyone who can do that. I mean, you can argue that we have Apuya over there, but Apuya's main job is not to dictate the play. He'll sit there, he'll do the dirty work, sitting in the number 6 position. So I believe what we missed out is one centre back and one midfielder. Maybe if we could have got a midfielder who could just run up and down and dictate the play, that would have been very good. I know Sahal did that for Mohan Bagan in the first session when Bugo Bumu was playing behind the two strikers, but it will be interesting to see who will be the number 8, because number 6 it is usual suspects Deepak Tangri or Jigsan Singh, and number 10 it will be most likely be Sahar. So let's see who will be the number 8. Any interesting observations you gentlemen have and you guys would like to point out? Rehan.
I think, yeah, I agree. You know, that number 8 position, uh, like you said, is a miss, and the rest of the midfield kind of works itself out. And again, you know, with an opponent like Afghanistan, maybe we could have gone with a few newer players, because I guess, like, it's not like we are working towards a bigger tournament in the summer like some of the European teams, that we can't experiment with the squad a little more. So I think I would have liked to see, like you said, one more centre back definitely, and definitely maybe a new midfielder who can play that number 8 role.
Yeah, I think most like I've observed this interesting pattern with Constantine and Steve Mack in the national team. Like these two managers, like I think in the last 10 years of watching the national team selection, I've observed that even if you like perform the best in the league in the domestic season, it might not guarantee you a place in the national team, because I've observed these two managers, both Constantine and Stimac, have a knack to pick their personal favorites. Like it kind of works out. Like I think there are certain tactics, strategies, positional sensing which only which a manager can only which manager only likes to assign to certain players, which might have been used in the previous matches, in the previous tournaments, in the previous year. So I think the inclusion of Thapa does not make sense to me when we talk about his recent performances. But in retrospect, I've observed that there are certain players in the national team who will be called up because they have set the impetus, like they are the core of the national team under a certain manager. So I think people like Thapa, Brandon, I think Brandon is in the squad as well. Yeah, he is. So people like Thapa, Brandon, they might not be that impactful in in the past few matches in the ISL, but I think they will perform well when it comes to national team because I have observed players like Thapa who have performed underperformed severely in the domestic circuit, but when it comes to national team, they switch it on. So I think some things work better when they are alone in the national team without foreigners around. I think I think Thapa is that example right here. So I think it will eventually work out. Like we are gonna play with the ball. So I find a lot of ball playing fielders here. We certainly are not gonna defend here. If we are defending, I think Twitter is gonna explode again. So I'm hoping we play with initiative. The midfielders I see here are ones who will play with initiative here. So I think yeah, of course Pultia is an exclusion. Ruth Pitch vehemently protest against on Twitter, on WhatsApp. So that's one player I've observed. He he mentions a lot, but other than that, I think the squad selection midfield is pretty okay for a side like Afghanistan, a weekend Afghanistan for a fact. So I think I'm pretty okay with the midfielders.
Um, I'd like to say that one thing that has been constant in Igor's team is Thapa. Like, there are some players in teams which like are always there and are coaches' favorites. Thapa is certainly one of them. Who, irrespective of the form, I think Igor like just likes to keep in the squad. Puita could have been given chance in place of Thapa. I believe that because and we should have actually given the chance because Thapa hasn't done anything for like Mohun Bagan recently. Mohun Bagan isn't actually been playing him right now much. So and he's sort of out of form. If it works out like Sayak said that like he certainly turns on the magic in national team and like clicks it and just like does the thing, then it's okay. But I don't think we should have taken that risk, and we should have given a chance to Poeta in this case because we all know that we are not even playing Afghanistan B team; it's Afghanistan C team. So that's a risk worth taking, in my opinion, because we all can say that like आगे chance दे देंगे, we can give chance in like June and in FIFA window or in like during SAF championship and all. But the thing is, SAF championship is literally the only thing India can win right now. So coaches don't like to take any risks in that. And apart from that, when like we come up against any other team in Asian Cup or like or other things, or if we qualify for round three, then obviously bigger teams are coming and we'll have to go for like our full squad, the usual players. So I don't see many opportunities coming up for our new players. So this was a good opportunity to try them out, in my opinion.
I think about opportunities. I think we might play Intercontinental Cup in June. I think Ruth was saying. So I think there are
July,
three matches,
yes.
right? Yeah, July. So I think hopefully the teams are a bit better than us. I think Indonesia might happen. I think the government of India is interested in that. So I think there are chances coming up. But again, as you said, it's Afghanistan. It's a World Cup qualifier. The stakes are high, but again, the team should not trouble us much. So I think that's one missed opportunity for players who are like like in the summer, the performance in the ISL will be out of game time for 2 3 months. That might drop right there. So this was the right time. The season is ending. Many teams are going out of the competition itself. So I think this was the right time to give chances to players who might have performed really well. So yeah, it's a missed opportunity. I agree with that.
Saik, you have an update about the Afghanistan team, which you may please share.
Yeah, so yeah, Afghanistan it's a lot of issues. So back in November, I think the first round happened where no, in November last year, it said the first round happened and Afghanistan beat Mongolia. So right after that, the Afghanistan government promised lots of cash prizes using the FIFA funds, and yeah, the cash prizes were never disbursed to the players, and the player like Afghanistan players are mostly in Europe, right? Like they play fourth, fifth division in many Dutch, German leagues. So they were expecting some sort of cash prizes from the government, and they announced it, and it never came. And when talking to the Taliban government, they said that we don't handle football. Everything is autonomous there. Like we had the FIFA funds coming in, the federation uses it to their own whim, and that's it. So the players were pretty angry, and they wrote a letter accusing the federation that they're misappropriating FIFA funds. They're sending in them the worst flights, the worst hotels. Uh, they are even siphoning off of funds, like they are booking tickets worth prices which are higher than expected, but they are not using it. Like they are siphoning off funds for their own personal uses. So there's a lot of allegations right there. And I think three players of Afghanistan team took the initiative, and they wrote a very scathing letter to the FIFA and AFC. They asked the FIFA that you should have some sort of accountability over the funds that you are sending to the federation. Like, where is it being used? Like, it's a lot of money because Afghanistan is a low income country, and that sort of money can be used extensively for development programs. It's not being used. So there were a lot of attacks, and they asked for accountability. They asked FIFA to commit some audits. FIFA replied, but I think once the funds are disbursed, I think FIFA is not much interested. Like there are many countries like Afghanistan across the country who who have lots of funds, but they don't use it. So I think FIFA will not take much of an action here. But again, they are pretty angry. So they boycotted the first leg of matches in November. Yeah. So the first leg happened in November, and they boycotted. I think 18 players boycotted, and they got Westwood as the manager, and Westwood has been trying his best to convince players. He has had individual interviews. He has been working with all the players who are not wanting to come back, and he has managed to convince three players. I think three of the 18 will come back to play against India. But again, that's 15 names out, and if we remove 15 names from any national team, it virtually turns into a B team right here. Like if we remove 15 players from the Indian team, we would not be confident at all. So it's a weekend side, and so three have joined, and hopefully they put up some show. So I think that's the update here. And Westwood has been taking lots of initiative. He attended all the three India matches in the Asian Cup. He traveled to Qatar with Harun Amiri, our favorite guy. He's an Indian football veteran, so he was there. Like Westwood is trying his best, and he already has been holding a 2 month camp for a national team. That's a long time for a national team. I barely any national team comes a 2 month camp for two matches. So that's T-Mac's dream right there. But again, that's a lot of camp. So Westwood is trying his best with whatever resources he has. So there will be a contest. It won't be walkover, but again, it's a B team at the end of the day. So that's Afghanistan.
One thing I would like to add is Faisal Shrestha. We tried to contact him. I mean, through Kenya, but he was. He said he's not taking part in the coming games. So Faisal will be with uh, Srinidhi
Srinidhi.
Deccan.
Yeah.
Yes, and he won't be participating it here. Strangely, they've called a 16-year-old uh,
Yeah.
German guy with Afghani heritage. So it
Yeah.
is quite
Amin Nabizada. Yeah.
yeah. So it is quite an. I mean, if you look at Afghanis, they are physically built, strong. I mean, when you compare it with Indian midfielders are what 5 feet, and these 16, 17-year-olds are what 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet 4, and 6 feet 3. So yes, whatever they bring in, their big strength lies in their physicality, and Westwood is a coach that they'll enjoy it because He's a guy who likes to play physical football. He did it with BFC, which we also when he had the likes of John Johnson and Robin Singh and 20 25-year-old Sunil Chetri at his disposal during
Curtis
during
Oshano.
his yeah during his era at BFC when they started first in I League. So maybe they won't possess a technical skill, but they still will be a menace when it comes to physicality. And Steammatch will be knowing that they'll be targeting the set pieces where Indian football team is not good enough in defending set pieces or scoring through set pieces. Indian I last goal, if I remember correctly, was when Adil Khan scored the header in the Bangladesh game. After that, I don't remember a game where the Indian team has scored a goal by scoring a header of the corner or the set pieces. So that is one thing that the Indian football team and Eagles team match would be very much interested in. I'll involve Rehan here, make his comments.
Yeah, so I think the physical battle will be, like you said, really difficult. Again, I mean, we would have possibly benefited with a out and out center back, a big center back to get on the end of those corners. Uh, I was just when you were talking about the Bangladesh game, I was just remember I was watching it in a library when I was in university. I'd be very quiet when we scored that goal. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I didn't know that a massive part of the Afghanistan squad wasn't going to be there. So possibly again going back to what we were talking about earlier, could have been an instance to try out a few more players. But yeah, it'll. I hope the four newcomers in the squad get decent game time. Uh, so that's something that I'm really looking forward to watching. But yeah, I think the physical battle will be interesting because I remember at least for the first maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes when we played Australia in the AFC, uh, we kind of were managing to stick with them, but then like the rest of the game, we just physically got completely outdone. Again, like they looked like they were 7 feet tall compared to our players. So again, that's something that I guess we just have to work on as a general thing rather than just on this particular game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think especially yeah, I think especially given that they're holding a 2 month long camp, that's like more than enough to work on their tactics and like set positions and all those things. And one thing is for sure that two things that are gonna come into play are physicality and long ball. Those two are like two things which Afghanistan is gonna be heavily reliant on against us. So I think we're gonna need players like Shubhasish Bose and Deepak Tangri to do a lot of work for us because if we want to counter physicality, those two are gonna be key in midfield and in defense.
Yeah, I think Afghanistan, I was reading somewhere, they also invited like 6, 7 more players. Like they have a lot of diaspora work because of the war. Like whatever players we are seeing who are in the foreign leagues, they have a lot more than that. Of course, not in those divisions, but there are many semi-pro players playing in France. There is in Germany. They are in the Netherlands. So I think they called 6, 7 more players, and because of some issues with the funds and the government, I think they could not process the visas. So they are not definitely playing in the Saudi Arabia leg, but they are trying their best with the Indian government to give them visas for the India game. So we might see a different team for the second game. Like even the 16-year-old guy we just said he has not gotten approval, like visa approval. So he might not be in action against us in Saudi Arabia. But again, they are trying behind the doors, behind the scenes that yeah, they are trying best to get new 5, 6 names who are not part of the Afghanistan squad. They have never played for the national team. They have never played youth matches as well, but they play somewhere in the European divisions with Afghan heritage. So they are trying to field feel a bit of a stronger side in the India home game, but again, but in the Saudi Arabia leg, it's gonna be a very weak side. And another point I want to include is when I was talking to a Afghanistan fan on Twitter uh, 2 months ago. Like Afghanistan players wanted to play in Tajikistan, okay, because Tajikistan's climate is very similar to what the European players play in. Like, it's cold, it's chilly. So like they said, if we play in Tajikistan, we might beat India as well because Indians will struggle in Tajikistan. We have played, I think, right there 2 3 years ago, and we struggled a lot there. So the Tajikistan is like a very strong football base for Afghanistan, but due to again some huge documentation work, government work, lots of disagreements, they cannot play in Tajikistan. They have to play in Saudi Arabia, and the players are already complaining that it's a place it's a place where the temperatures are way too hot for Afghans who live in Europe. So they're like, there's literally no home advantage for them. No climate, no fans, no players. It's it is a absolute neutral venue. So whatever advantage they had with the Tajikistan playing in that chilly weather at night at 10 p.m. local time, that's gone. So it's a very bad situation, and I don't know how Westwood is surviving there. He's a guy who likes to complain a lot. Okay, so I'm expecting some outburst pretty soon. But yeah, hopefully he can stick around. So yeah, like Afghanistan are in a mess, and if we draw points against them, Steamac is in trouble.
I wanted to
Yeah,
ask, like,
that's
did they
that's for
have
you.
any sort of? I wanted to ask, like, did they have any home advantage against Qatar and Kuwait when they played the first leg? Because that was also away in Saudi, if I remember correct.
Exactly.
No, no, no. The
So,
thing is, first
mhm.
coming to Sayek's part here, we did play them in Tajikistan, where Len Jongal scored the equalizer in the last World Cup qualifiers, right? And before they wanted Tajikistan because the last time when they played there, they had the advantage of the altitude. When you in Dushanbe they used to play, and Dushanbe is very. I mean, when you compare it from India, it's on a very high altitude. It's on 1,000 to 2,000 feet above sea level, Dushanbe, and we used to play them in November and in chilly winters. So that was and that was one of the reasons why the Afghani players protested because the Talibani government signed an agreement with with the Saudi government. So that is what had happened. The second thing coming to Konark is last time they played in Dammam. Dammam is something is it's Dammam is a coastal city for Saudi Arabia. So it is come on the ground level. If you want to, I mean, if you want to add context, but here now they are playing in Aba. Aba is 2,200 feet above the sea level. It is not similar to Dushanbe, but maybe a middle ground for European players considering the altitude. Uh, and because the temperatures will be down compared to what it will be in the month currently. So yes, they would be middle ground, but Indians should find it very in comfortable positions. Rehan, if you want to add something.
No, I've I've not really looked into the venues much, unfortunately.
Right. Uh, so just
In terms
coming,
of,
we
yeah,
yeah, go on,
go
go on.
ahead. Okay, yeah, I'll say that in terms of altitude, I just checked. Abha is like way more higher than Dushanbe, and temperatures are like 18 degree to like 22 degrees Celsius, like fluctuating between that. And if it's a night game, it's gonna be a little colder. Yeah,
Yes,
but I feel,
yes,
but I personally feel that like I have climbed a few mountains in my life in my college days. So 4 or 5 days are more than enough to actually acclimatize to like 2,000 meter altitude. So that's not gonna be much of a problem for our players who are like always in such a good physical condition. So yeah, it kind of takes away advantage from Afghanistan because Igor made sure to like create an itinerary where we actually had decent amount of time because on like 16th March, I believe all of our players were actually there. So the player who came most late also have like 4 to 5 days to acclimatize to that place. So they'll be quite comfortable, I believe.
Right. Now let's go to make a predicted 11. We'll start off with Rehan, the new guest, and then me and Zach will come on later.
So the playing 11, no?
Yeah, predicted. Your
So
best 11. Forget
okay,
predicted. Your best 11.
okay. So I would go Gurpreet in goal.
Yes.
I'd go Akash Mishra left back.
Okay,
Um,
fine.
there's not much option when it comes to Rahul Beke and Anwar Ali in as the centre back pair. And I think Jay Gupta at right back. Um, and in the midfield again, I'd go. I think Sahal is the easiest pick at 10. And then uh, Deepak Tangri at the 6. And I would say, I mean, again, like we discussed, Anirudh Thapa and Suresh both possibly not deserving to be in the squad, but you'd have to go with one of them in the 8. I'd go Thapa. I just personally prefer the way he plays. Um, and for the forwards, I'd go Changte, Sunil Chetri, and Vikram Pratap. Uh, I think coming off his hat trick, that'd be interesting to see. Like a 4-3-3 is what I would have gone for.
So, what are your thoughts? Who's the
Hang on, hang
goalkeeper
on,
in your
hang on. Let's make Rehan's 11 first. So Chetri in the middle, Changte at the left, and right Manvir. Okay.
not
No,
Manvi,
right,
Vikram.
right, Vikram Pratap, not Manu.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
Changte,
Okay.
left Vikram Pratap.
Vikram,
Ah,
Vikram compulsory. अभी अच्छा
yeah.
player.
And what was the midfield?
Midfield was Sahal in the 10, Tangri, and Thapa.
Okay. 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 Thapa gets in. Cool. Okay. Okay. So okay. Rehan's 11 is this one. ठीक है. Konak, you go.
Hello?
Mic off है.
By my God.
Yeah. So my keeper is gonna be Vishal Kath,
Okay.
and yeah, and my two center backs are gonna be Anwar Ali and Subhashish Bose.
Oh, boss. Okay.
Yeah. Right fullback's gonna be uh, Ame. Yeah, right fullback's gonna be Ame, and left it's gonna be Mishra.
Yeah, Mishra stays. Okay, Mishra and boss together. Okay.
Yeah, that's and I'll have a pairing of let's say Tangri and Apuya. I'm gonna set out Jigson. Yeah, Tangri and Apuya, and an attacking midfielder in Sahal.
Okay.
Yep. And my striker up front is gonna be Vikram Pratap Singh.
Okay.
Left winger will be Mahesh.
Ah, Mahesh तो भूल ही गए. Right.
And right Changte.
Okay.
Yep.
So Chetri
That's
is
my
sitting
What
out
line.
he can
against Afghanistan.
Yeah, Chetri is sitting out. Like really want to give Pratap Singh his chance as a striker, and I think that like he brings the possibility of us getting more goals because it's the way. Like if you look at the group right now in which we are in, it might come down to GD also. So we should not only go for just win, but also the amount of goals we can score. So I think Vikram Pratap Singh can bring that attacking factor in with more goals that we can score. So that's like I want to give him chance there as a striker.
Does anyone want to start Amrindra at goal?
no, I don't think Amrinder
Hmm.
starts because because
Not
I
after
was
the
at
last Qatar qualifier.
True, true, absolutely. Okay, I'll go then. I think
Yeah.
I will go with Sandhu at goal. I think I might want to give Mehtab a chance here. It's Afghanistan, I know, but I think he might do well. Anbar starts for me. At right back, I think it's Gupta for me, and Mishra starts because Mishra will get a lot of chance to go upward. So I think Mishra is the obvious choice for me. At center, that's a tricky one. At center, I think I might include I might include Jackson probably in a single pivot role. That's my opinion. And I think Sahal starts for me, and Mahesh starts in the middle. And yeah, the striking lineup stays the same for me. Obviously, Mahesh can't start here, so so I will give Manveer his chance because I think in the national team he kind of is okay. I know people will not like people hate me for saying this, but I think he will do just well. So
Uh, no, he's been decent with Mohan Bagan under Habas recently, so like that's also pretty
yeah,
decent.
yeah. So I think this
Manvir
works
can
for
be
me.
very good as a wide target. He's been using the half the mid line very well, and he's cutting in and he's crossing well. But the national team, the issue with him is he plays higher up on the pitch, and that doesn't
Yeah,
give him the space to whip the cross in for the strikers. And another thing, even if we had the prowess of giving crosses, unfortunately, we don't have any towering strikers in our arsenal who can just head the ball in and maybe score a goal. So Manvir's case is very curious when it comes to national team because the role which was given to which was given uh, um, Manvir at Mohan Bagan and uh, what the role is given to him in the national team is quite different. Also, with corner team, I want to highlight that the three strikers in there. Igor Slimans, if he has a tactical prowess, he could well start Vikram as a false nine because all three of them are very good pacey players and who can help the team in the counter. So one thing that Igor Slimans could do is play a false nine formation with Chamte and Mahesh on the wings and Vikram roaming around here and there. So coming into my lineup is I'll go
yeah.
with Vishal Kath,
Okay.
right? I'll go right back Amay Ranawadi. I
Okay.
know he's not going to play, but
Yeah.
my best 11 will feature Amay Ranawadi. The right centre back will go to Mehta, a place where he's very comfortable with in the Mumbai City lineup. Uh, Anwar Ali plays as a LCB, followed by Akash Mishra. No, Subhashish Bose, considering
Okay.
uh, wings, they'll try to have long balls up onto the wings. So Subhashi is one which we can use him. Deepak Tangri goes at number 6. is undroppable by Igor Siemens. He's one of the favorites of Igor Siemens. Strangely. Now my center mid, the other two mids will have number eight. I'll go with Sahal. It's the role which Sahal played with Mohan Bagan in the first half of the season. A number eight role. Number 10 role, I'll give it to Brandon Fernandez, who's been very well. His performances unfortunately are overshadowed by Noah Sadhu's brilliance, but he's very well at number 10 and on the wings for Goa. On the wings, I'll go with Vikram Chetri and Changte.
Okay.
Right, this is what my lineup
Yeah,
will go.
interestingly, with Chetri, like I think two of us included Chetri, two of us did not. So like there's a debate right there. Okay, do we use Chetri right from kickoff? Use his we use his experience, we use his physicality. He's a lot more physical, but again, he has lost quite quite a bit of his accuracy and decision making. He has been missing lots of chances in Bengaluru, but again, for the national team against Australia, Uzbekistan, I like when the whole team had almost given up. I saw him running at the age of what 38 he is. So he
39.
has 39.
Yes.
Yeah. So he can run. Okay, he can run. He can run a lot, but he has not been in his best touch recently. So if we use him against Afghanistan, he might score again. That gives him an impetus to maybe continue even more. So should we really keep going on with Chetri in matches like these, or should we start planning for the future? We should start including more of young starters. So what's the debate right there? Like, what do you think, Rehan? Like, I want to go with him.
I think when I was making my team, I forgot that I could have put Mahesh on the flank. So I think, yeah, I think possibly, again, given the nature of the problems that Afghanistan are going through, I think possibly bring him on off the bench. Possibly start Vikram in the false nine role, like Rithwij was talking about, and pop Mahesh in on the left. I think that could be an option. Definitely, it's a debate. I think that's been happening for a while. Is the succession plan for Chetri? At one point, thought it would be Manveer. At another point, thought it would be Ishan Pandita. Now, I think the conversation is going to head towards Vikram. So let's see possibly what he can do in that central role. But yeah, I think I'd probably change my team and start him off the bench.
Right. Like, what about Siva Sakti? Like, he obviously is not part of the team, I think. So
Yeah,
does
yeah,
he stand a
yeah.
chance coming back in the summer,
He's
hopefully?
part of under 23 team, I think, which is gonna play on the same day. So yeah, people are gonna keep an eye on him.
Yeah, great.
That's
Yeah, I think we have covered pretty much everything. So we have Konak and Rehan, and we also have this guy commenting. So there is a pattern right there. So we're gonna ask some questions to Konak and Rehan, okay, about Delhi football. Dipesh is one guy who has been asking us a lot. So Konak, I think you are a Delhi FC fan. So what is the
yeah,
scene
quite average.
in Delhi? Like, have you attended the games? Like, what is the scene in Delhi football with all the fixing fiasco? Like, what's happening in Delhi? Like,
In terms of like Indian football, not many people are actually interested in like Indian football here. They're really interested in European football and foreign football leagues. As I was also when I was in school, people only used to watch European football. No one like watched any Indian football. We didn't even knew that like Delhi Premier League or like our own things existed by that time. But when ISL came around in like 2014, that's and Delhi Dynamo's team came up from Delhi. That's when like we got really excited and started following Indian football. Like trying to see what the league structure is like, and since we had pretty big players from Europe too at that time, so I could see like the GLN stadium be full for football. That was the first time it was full in like 4 years after CWG. That's like for CWG JLN Stadium was built. It was full in like 2010, and after that, like it was just in shambles and right there. But in 2014, when ISL came around, people were actually excited and went there, watched the game in 2014. But as I know from Ranjit Bajaj sir, the fee for the stadium was really high. Like Delhi Dynamo just could not afford to keep playing there. So in 2016, they just give up on Delhi and moved to Odisha. After that, like in terms of league scene, it was pretty dead. It was just Sudeva playing here, which was like nobody, not many people like knew about it actually, in my opinion. I also came to know about it like in 2020 or sometime that we have a club called Sudeva Delhi playing because no one really cares about Indian football. After that, like the excitement rolled around when Ranjit Bajaj sir bought Delhi FC because he has done some tremendous work with Minerva, won many titles with Minerva. So we saw promise when he bought Delhi FC, which he also delivered by winning like I League 2 and then moving ahead to I League. So that was one part we were really excited about. And one of the biggest problems I'd say in Delhi football right now is grounds. Like we don't have grounds here to play like football. JLN is just out of the league for like small clubs. Punjab FC is playing there right now, but no I League club can actually afford playing there. It's so expensive. We have another club, another stadium called Ambedkar Stadium right beside like cricket Firosha Kotla. That's also in shambles, but that's at least approved by AIFF. I was just talking to Ranjit Bajaj sir like yesterday about Delhi FC and what they're planning in their like next season because he was like, we have played all our games so far like away games. Like they're playing in like Namdhari Stadium, their home games, which is away for them, and then like away games which are usual. So he was quite excited like about coming back to Delhi, and I raised the point that if they again do Delhi Premier League in Ambedkar Stadium, what are you gonna do? Because that's one of the reason he was not able to play here, Delhi Premier League. And like, can they even maintain the pitch for like Delhi FC to play in Ambedkar Stadium, given that all the games of um, Delhi Premier League happen in Ambedkar Stadium, irrespective of the clubs where they're from. So all the clubs are actually always playing in that same stadium, all their games. There's no home or away format. So it's like really in shambles. Pitch isn't actually shambles. They were excited that it's gonna be renovated, but scheduling is really, I would say, a mess. And we had one stadium, Chhatrasal Stadium, which was approved by AIFF a third stadium, but they have taken a like they have avoided it, and now only two stadiums are approved right now. One is JLN, which is obviously impossible for an I League club to play in, and Ambedkar Stadium, which I've already told you what the problems are. So chances are that Delhi FC might not be able to play again in Delhi. So Delhi football scene in terms of Indian football right now, I would say is pretty dead. Like until we don't have a club playing at home, like Delhi club not playing in Delhi, it's gonna stay that same way. That's the reality.
Yeah, you won't ever get fans like new fans if you don't play in front of them because see in ISL we at least have a broadcast to rely on. You can get fans through broadcast. Like many clubs have fans only through broadcast. They've never watched the games live in the stadium. But for I League, I think rarely any Delhi FC game has been streamed this season. So it's a huge problem getting fans. So I think Rehan also I think has followed Delhi FC quite a bit, and I think he also used to follow Delhi Dynamos. So Rehan, like, what are your thoughts on Delhi football, Delhi FC, Delhi Dynamos, the infrastructure, everything? The stage is yours.
I think it was it was quite a bad hit. I think when Delhi Dynamos switched from Delhi, because I think, like Konark said in the beginning, I remember, the Del Piero season, where the stadium was full. There was that, that new excitement about the ISL for the first couple of years, and then towards the end, I remember going for a couple of games where the stadium wasn't really being able to fill up properly. even JLN wasn't, the upkeep wasn't good. Um, and then the fact that Delhi Dynamos left from Delhi, I think that, like you said, to get in the new fan for us now, because we're like, for me, I'm a big football fan, right? So for me, having a team to support from the city I live in, that just that feeling in 2014 was like, wow. And then that went, and then kind of, for me as well, it took a long time for me to even look at Delhi FC, and look into the I League, because that's something, someone who's like all of us who are already watching and looking for opportunities to, within Indian football, to watch and support something in this space. But just for like someone who's just watching football, and is like, like most people in Delhi are like European football fans and all, to find and to figure out how you're going to watch the Delhi FC games. I think it's it leaves too much to ask for, to get a fan base to then, which will be able to sustain, with the ticket receipt, etc., of a proper club in Delhi. Like even with Delhi FC, them getting into the I League and then having to move out of Delhi is really difficult. So it's really not a, I think, not a great situation. Ambedkar Stadium again is like completely dilapidated. It's been needing to be renovated for years. Um, and then just recently, the whole fixing scandal, which just made the whole thing worse and worse. So, I mean, hopefully, there's a way that the whole situation can be changed, but I just don't see it at the moment.
Yeah, Jindal and TVS wanted to. Yeah, I'll just finish. So तेरा वैसे mic off है, so I'm going. So Jindal and TVS wanted to, I think, wanted to bid for Delhi in the I League, and I think there was some sort of financial mess up in the background, and AIFA wanted more money. The Jindal and TVS did not want to pay that much, and there were lots of disagreements right there. And even after showing interest, they took their bid back, and whatever hope like folks in Delhi had that there might be a club in the I League with lots of financial backup. That did not happen again, and that mess solely goes to the credit of the Delhi Football Association. Like there were lots of disagreements, like there were lots of conflicts of interest. So I think there was another missed opportunity. So I think there are lots of missed opportunities right there. Like see, Konak said Delhi does not have enough football grounds, but if we look at the other cities, it's even worse. I think except Kolkata, I think rarely any city has any space to play football. Cricket, I am not counting here. There are lots of cricket spaces, but again, about football, I think Delhi, if not the best, they do have the second best infrastructure. Come on, and if you look at
No,
Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai,
we
there's
have,
nothing.
yeah, we have plenty of grounds. Like we have Chhatrasal Stadium. Like just a few
Yeah,
days ago, I went to CWG, like Sports Village. There's a big ground with the stadium there too. But the problem is AIFF is not approving any of the grounds, and they
yeah,
require
yeah,
like the grounds to be
yeah,
approved. So इतना investment तो आना चाहिए ना कि भाई तुम कुछ grounds तो approve कर दो ताकि team जाके खेल ले वहाँ. अब कल को दिल्ली एफसी जाती है, if Delhi FC goes there and they say that we want to play in Chhatrasal Stadium, there's a like decent ground and a stadium around it, and we want to play there, and AIFF is like हमने तो approve किया ही नहीं है, तुम कैसे खेलोगे यहाँ पे?
exactly,
Then
exactly.
like
Yeah,
the approval thing is the thing. So only two grounds are approved, and there's like a fight for like who's gonna play there. That's the main problem.
yeah. I really don't like the approval thing because see, India is a country where we rarely have any decent infrastructure. Okay, so if you put the certifications out there, like see, look at the stadium in Panchkula from where Minerva Punjab won the I League, and the Roundless Punjab team also played there, and they played pretty. It was okay. It was looking great after the Khelo India renovation. So if you can host an I League right there, and fans are coming in. It's near Punjab. People can easily travel from Chandigarh and watch their own city. Why do you have to not certify it for the ISL? Why do you have to send a team from Punjab to Delhi and from Delhi to Punjab? What is this transfer of teams? Like India as a country cannot afford such strict rules of certification and regulation. You have to let teams play from their own cities, even if the grounds are bad. You have to make you have to look at stadiums case by case. You cannot expect a Salt Lake or a DY Patil everywhere. football has to grow from the roots. So you have to make a case by case consideration and allow teams to play from their own cities, because without that fans will never grow.
And one more thing I'd like to add that like there are many people in Delhi who are like me and Raihan who are actually looking for a club to support. It's not like clubs are looking for fans. We fans are looking for a club to support here. It's like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I see many people like us around like in even on our WhatsApp group there are like so many Delhi people but just don't know what to do because we don't have a team and the one we have isn't even playing here. So AIFF should give it a try because base is there. Once they start playing here, they will get support. I'm sure of that.
I'll give you some behind the scene news. Only few people know in Delhi. So Punjab FC are not paying rent at the JLN. Last when I inquired, they are just paying the charges. I mean maintenance charges, which is required in JLN. They are not paying in 1 rupee as a stadium rent to the Delhi. I mean Delhi municipality. So they are not paying any money to Delhi municipality. They are just paying the maintenance charges and they are maintaining the ground uh, in the JLN stadium. So that is one thing which is which is also true with regards to Delhi football, because it's not that there are humongous charges involved in organizing games. Yes, there are some bit of charges, some maintenance you will have to maintain at JNN, which is when you compare other stadiums, it is quite nominal. Similar goes to Northeast United in Guwahati. They don't pay any charges. Uh, so that is the thing with Delhi football, is what I knew because I inquired from people at Punjab FC. They told me they don't pay any charges. They just pay the maintenance of it. So Delhi football in a nutshell, we are talking about not the office bearers, not the clubs are interested in organizing games in Delhi. So this is what it is. Before we end, let's get our predictions for the game. We'll start off with Rehan.
I think 3-1 and 3-1 both. I think both teams will win
3 1
comfortably.
3. Right. Monarch, you may go.
I'd say 2-0 in Saudi and 3-0 in India. That's gonna be the scoreline.
Um, I think 1-0 in Saudi and 4-0 at home.
4 goals, my God, who's going to score? I,
Vikram will score.
Goal
I just
fest.
hope. I mean, I don't. I'll take 1-0 win in both the games and maybe pray for Kuwait game to go away in June. That what? That's the bare minimum I'm expecting from this team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Kuwait is playing twice, right? They with Qatar.
Qatar,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
So we need
them
big wins
playing.
for Qatar right there.
Yes, we need big wins for
Yeah.
Qatar there. We, I mean, in the midst of the things, you can say that we need wins in a very good win for India in the two Afghanistan games, but I don't see them happening. I've been following Indian football, and if one chance we get to go through anywhere and we just falter around and we just blame everything. Everything goes back to grassroots, the coach, the this thing, the players, the money we give them, the money this thing. The same cycle continues for them. I just hope and pray we have 1-0 wins in both the games and we can take the Kuwait game in BYBK, and maybe uh, maybe give a proper send off to Sunil Chhetri.
Hopefully,
One or two
bro.
guys.
I honestly, as an Indian football fan, I don't know if like we fans like could be able to take like not able to defeat Afghanistan C team. Like that's gonna be the biggest like I don't even have words to describe like what I would feel
Stimac,
if that
Stimac कुछ
ever.
बोला, Stimac ने कुछ बोला, I crossed my heart and promise something like that. I was reading the quote. He's
Yeah,
promising now, so let's see what he can do.
he was like,
I,
yeah,
I am a hopeless romantic in Indian football, so I don't. I mean, I don't expect so much from the other side. Bare minimum, मेरे को थोड़ा कर दोगे, I'll fall in love with.
Toxic
That's the
relationships
thing.
right there.
Yes, toxic relationship, red flags, whatever you may call it.
तूने खुद रेड पहना है तो या ठीक है कोई बात नहीं.
oh,
Yes,
So I think
yes.
we
चलो
have
रे.
Rehan to closing notes.
Closing notes. I'm just like I was just hearing Rutush talk about having zero expectation. Imagine being a Spurs fan and an Indian football fan. Just think about what
I
that's
Uh,
understand. Spursy, Spursy,
yeah.
Spursy. I am a
So yeah,
United fan wanting to tease you, but my own condition is not that great. So that I could not, I mean, I could not even fire shots at. So that will take it for another day.
yeah.
Yes. Sayak, hello.
क्या मैं क्या बोलूँ या so I'm an East Bengal fan, so I got what I wanted in January. So ठीक
उस,
है.
उसका हो
मेरा
गया है
भी
बस मैं सुपर कप आ गया बस खत्म कहानी अब भाई अब जो होए होए
Yeah,
अगले
yeah. I mean,
पाँच
every
छह साल का
every
कोटा पूरा
12 साल का कोटा पूरा हो गया. 5 साल कम है.
आज
So ठीक है. So yeah, that's okay. I just hope see round three will change in football for at least 2 years. Like we are gonna play Japan, Oman, like Pa- all the Arab teams and the East Asian teams. Like we are gonna get 10 amazing matches. 10 amazing matches where we cannot stat pad anymore. We won't be getting soft teams. We won't be getting ASEAN teams as well. Maybe Vietnam. We won't be getting
Minus
the
50
weekend.
goal difference is what we'll get.
Yeah, yeah. That's needed. That's needed
It's
for a reality check.
100% needed. 100% needed.
Yeah. So when we lose big, it will see negative impact is there. Fans will lose hope and all, but it will make re- people realize, stakeholders realize that what we are doing is not enough. So 10 matches, 10 quality matches for the national team to play, and 10 quality matches to reflect for everyone where we are right now. So round three is absolutely mandatory, and I hope we do that. And Afghanistan match is 6 points. Kuwait 1 point. At least 7 points should make us go through. So hopefully that happens. So yeah, fingers crossed, man. So that's it.
Let's see, guys. Let's see. So that is about it. Thank you, Rehan. Thank you, Kornak, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. We hope to have you again in future as well. Maybe we'll discuss Indian football and the ISL in the upcoming episodes. But the Indian football team's performance should be at the very best for the next 10 days. Hopefully, we go through with 6 points, and let's hope we get a point in either of the two games in June, and we are
Yeah,
done.
yeah, on the record, I'm inviting all of you to come to Kolkata if you can. Okay, for the Kuwait game,
Sure.
please try if it's possible.
okay
That's gonna be great. Like yeah, it will be a full house come on. So I think that's a great chance for fans across India to experience. So yeah, that's it. So I think we are
See,
done.
let's we are done. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay,
Thank you
guys.
so
Thank
very
thank
you
you
for
much.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for
much for
coming.
having me.
Yeah.
Thank
So it's
you.
been a pleasure. And good night and Jai Hind.
Thank you.
jai hind
चलो थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू हो गया हो गया हो गया डिसेंट था भाई